Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Bo. We're going to do something cool today. It's the ultimate guide to multi-farms. Yes, what is a multi-farm? Well, let's go over the basics of what a multi-farm is. A multi-farm replaces, it's a forestry mod, obviously, feed the beast. It replaces what used to be tree farms, peat farms, all this other stuff. Okay, so what you got to know is that a multi-farm, you could put anything you want. You can reprogram it to put whatever you want. And whatever I want, it means crops. So in the case of trees, these are what we're going to go over. Is a basic layout for one, what components are required, and then we have a little case study over there that we're going to try and see which is the best of what. Now let's get started. So a multi-farm generally comes in 5 different flavors. You have a 3x3x4, which refers to how many blocks are in the inside. So in this case, it's 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3. And by 4 means that you need farm blocks. Now let's just go over the blocks you're going to need. You're going to need a thing called a carpenter in order to make this work. It's a carpenter. This thing. You'll need this in order to build all these items, but when you have it, you should be okay. A farm block is the basic cornerstone, which basically is a multi-block structure that you have to build, which has to be, as we were just seeing there, 3x3x4, or there's other sizes. To build a farm block, simply do this recipe. Some wood, a tin electron tube, 2 copper ingots in this configuration, and then a block of your choice. Now there are many choices for what color you'd like your farm blocks to be. You could either do smooth sandstone, chiseled stone, mossy cobble, cracked, stone bricks, which would be the an easy option, chiseled sandstone bricks, or the best one I think is nether brick, because you just run into the nether real quick, go find a stronghold and just get like 20-30 stacks of these things or whatever you can, and you just come back with a ton of this, because you're going to need a lot of nether brick, as you will slowly see. The farm valve is the item we also need. It's one of the special items that will help control the multi-farm. The valve is where we put the water into the multi-farm. So just remember, this is the recipe for it, which is a tin gear and a couple pieces of glass. Another piece we'll need is a gearbox. The gearbox is what takes power in to let the multi-farm work. It's a farm block with 3 tin gears below it. And a farm hatch is what we use to get the stuff out of the multi-farm. The nice part of this is the powered block, so it'll just push stuff through. You don't need to use any kind of like pull action. It'll just push items out, no worries. There's a farm block, tin, and a trapdoor. And for you guys that really want to have like more control over what your planting is and what your farm is, you can use this thing called a farm control, which is just a golden electron and a redstone. This can either turn on and off the entire thing or parts of it, because when we build one of these, I'll show you what I mean, but there are 4 segments to each multi-farm. So you could have trees, peat moss, peat, wheat, and carrots if you wanted, right? Just whatever, right? I don't know about carrots, but wheat, peat, and trees if you really wanted, and it'll harvest all of them. That's the coolest part about a multi-farm. So you're not just stuck into doing just trees or just peat or whatever. So if you're trying to make biogas, tree farm could be an option. You could do half tree farm and peat moss for the other half. So you have both engines rocking and rolling. But anyway, let's go over the sizes. So there are 5 different sizes. The first one is a 3x3x4, which means 3x3, 4 tall. The next one down is 3x4. And note that the size changes. All of this is on the Wikipedia site that I will put in the description below, so you don't have to remember all this, but just remember, there's the 4x4x4, which is 4x4, and all the blocks are 4 tall, you'll see. And then the next one is 3x5x4, and then the big daddy, 5x5. Now, these guys are getting pretty big. Now, why do you see that all of these have to be laid out in a certain pattern? And why are they all the same blocks? In order for your multi-farm to work, you need to use one of the designated block types, which is like the nether brick, smooth sandstone, whatever. It's the same ones that we talked about over here. Any number of these. Okay, so you have to build the platform for your multi-farm to rest in. So what you're gonna do is build it out. So in the 3x3, you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. Okay, making this pattern. With a 3x4, you get a little bit more. You actually get 5 going each way. So this is the medium. This one, you get a little bit more, but not too much. This one, definitely more, and the Big Daddy is 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6 by 6 by 6. I know the Big Daddy has 180 different potential places you could plant. The next largest was 3.5. This was 156 potential places, 120, 110, and then something else. I can't read the rest of the page, but it's a lot less. And the number of farm blocks varies depending on the size. So obviously, as you keep going up in size, you need more farm blocks. So there are some better methods or better ways to use the farm blocks so you're not like wasting a ton. And we're going to investigate that over here when it comes to efficiency, but just for the sake of argument, just don't worry about it right now. So let's build a structure so I can show you guys how to build a farm, like an actual multi-farm. We're going to go on this 3x3 guy because I really am lazy and don't want to do too much here. So I usually do let's just make sure it's done. I usually make sure that I am building at least 4 blocks underneath. So if this was flush with the ground, just dig down 4 blocks because you need a little room for all the mechanicals that are going to go in here. Now my suggestion is as follows. You take your farm blocks, in this case I'm just using the smooth sandstone so it's easy to see. You take your farm blocks and you make 1 layer just right here. Okay, remember there has to be 4 layers. There is a Wikipedia item showing you the layout that how you can and can't do it. Basically the farm blocks have to be connected to this, but if you just follow what I'm doing, you'll be fine. So just do 1 little layer for right now. Then we got to go to our command blocks. Now the reason I personally like putting all of my blocks on the outside is and 1 layer below is so that way I have 1, 2, 3 potential places, or even 4 or 5 different places I can put my energy, because the gearbox requires a conduit. So in this case, it requires a kinesis pipe, right? Just whatever, whatever it is to get energy in there. The next one you're going to want is the valve. Now the valve is one where you need to get water in through the bottom or one of the sides. I don't think it really matters, but the best way honestly is just to go through the bottom. So here's my suggestion. You get yourself an aqueous accumulator. You stick it down here. You'll see that it fills up with water. Get yourself some form of pipe. Could be fluid pipe, could be others, doesn't really matter. And then you will see that your balls. You'll see that this will fill up the water that we need. The last bit is the hatch. Now this one is where you're gonna put like transport pipe on, so you can transport items straight out. So you can do, I usually do it, I think you may need go like a wood pipe, possibly. Let's try that. Do you need a wood pipe just to get it out? I don't think you do. Just in case, we will have to get a bit sneaky, John Schnoll. All right, let's just put down a chest. Make this as awkward as possible, because, you know, hey, why not, right? Huh. Oh, it doesn't even recognize it yet, so let's give it a second, okay? Let's just finish building this thing. Now build your second layer like this. This is your other farm blocks. Now build 2 layers on top. If you did everything right, you should see a little band that will appear right here. Come in, there it goes. This band tells you, A-OK, it's now a multi-farm. If you right click on it, you'll see now the farm interface. Now, what is the farm interface? The farm interface obviously shows a couple things. Okay, this looks confusing, but don't worry about it yet. We have water, on here. That's taken care of by the aqueous accumulator right here. Let's go get a couple things of dirt. And let's dump the aqueous accumulator. Let's also get some fertilizer. Fertilizer is what you'll need for this to work. Fertilizer comes from apatite that you can find pretty much damn near anywhere. And then you craft it with sand, and then you get fertilizer. Fertilizer goes here. Now, all farms, all multi-farms are defaulted as a arboretum, okay? So a tree farm. If you wanted to change that, you could actually use a, what is it? It's a card. It's expansion card. It's what is it? Not that. It's circuit board. Yeah, one of these. You could get a circuit board, then you stick in a couple whatever tubes you want. If you check the Wikipedia, the wiki page, you can see what different tubes change it to what. If you were to go ahead and do like an intricate, that means you can choose all 4 sides, and it'll tell the multi-farm and reprogram it to say, hey, don't just do trees, do peat, tree, and wheat, or whatever you want it to do. The one thing you're going to have to supply no matter what will be dirt. Now, I know a lot of different people say you can put down whatever. Don't even dick around with it. The multi-farm will automatically place the correct soil and type that you need based on the crop that you programmed. So don't worry about it. You'll be fine. God, why did I have to build it so far away from my freaking energy source? That was stupid. Let's hook this up now and see if she decides to want to... There it goes. Now it's like, look, I am a multi-farm. Sweet. All right. Then the next thing we're going to need is to put in whatever you want. In this case, I'm putting in some oak saplings. Apple ones are great because they drop extra apples, which is always helpful. Now I just got to get some power over here. Oh my God, why did I go so damn far away from like my only power source? Well, it's not my only power source, but it's a damn good power source. Okay, let's, oh, and of course, I didn't hook up my power source. That would have been smart, right? Like who would have ever thought, hey Bo, you're gonna do a really intricate ultimate guide. Who would have ever guessed maybe you need to, you know, plan this one ahead. Like, where the hell am I getting the power from? Oh well. You guys are here for the lols as much as the info. This is pretty lawlish. Come on now. Where is it? Oh, shit. Here we go. Over here. All right. Thank you, creative mode. Otherwise, this would be really, really, really expensive. Now, obviously, the placement of wherever your command blocks and all the other stuff is will change based on, like, the size. There we go. Oh my God. Can I be any more off? It will change based on, like, the size. So a 4x4, you can place, basically, you can place the gearbox and the valve and whatever anywhere you want within that, but just place them on the bottom. So, as I said before, one layer of farm blocks, place your command blocks on the bottom here, and then fill it in, and then just do 2 more on the top, and you're solid. So that'd be the easiest way. All right, let's go over here. Let's go connect up our power supply. I was going to show you this later, but we need the damn power now. We need a powder now. Oh God, we're getting a little low. Get a little bit low. Nice. Okay, we'll see this in a bit. This is our comparator. Okay, there we go. Now the power has started. Yay, so as you can see, it's getting a ton of power. Oh, plenty of power. Oh my God, yeah, it's cranking. So it's all maxed out. It's going as fast as it can. It's planting and then putting down a tree and into humus. And again, I didn't have to put this down. The MultiFarm automatically handles that, so don't worry about putting down whatever dirt. Because I know when you look in the Wikipedians, you see, hey, if I want to do a medium large, I need 64 blocks, right? So this guy, I need 64 blocks for here, and I need 120 of whatever. It's like, no, just get dirt blocks, jam them inside. So again, you put the dirt blocks in here, and it automatically takes care of it for you. Don't worry about it. You'll need to keep it filled with dirt because as the humus gets expelled, it turns into sand. And but I mean, come on, it's dirt. You could run around real quick and just grab stacks of that stuff quick. But that is a multi-farm. It's not the only one, but this is the tree multi-farm. Stuff will grow at some point, and then it will deposit the wood and other items within the chest. So let's let this run for just a little bit, and I'll just kind of show you a little about what it looks like. So what I really like is that you can see it just boom, 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 how lovely, how fast all the trees grow. Well, let's get going. All right, I think you guys get the hint as far as how this thing works. It just cranks along, doing whatever it's going to do. Turn the damn rain off. Come on, make it rain. It goes through making the trees, and then killing the trees, and then waiting for stuff to drop. Now, sometimes it doesn't get everything. There's some stuff that falls out, but that's all right. Oh, shit, you got to put the hatch on the button. There it goes. Now it's pushing stuff out. So basically we got ourselves a whole lot of apples and oak wood, and then what it's going to do is replace all the saplings that we used, and then later it will go through after all the saplings are full here. It'll start kicking them out. That's where we start making some serious amount of saplings, which go to biogas. So let's go on over there. I want to show you guys a little thing I was thinking about. Now, if you are looking at this, right, you'll notice that there are a couple that just seem a little bit like, Now, this one is a 3x4. This one takes 48 farm blocks, and it produces 110 spaces for which you can mine or farm, right? Now, a big one, like this big one right here, well, obviously the big one, that's a big one. The big one over here requires 100 farm blocks and gives you 180 places. So I was thinking, wait a minute, if I did 48 times 2, that's 96 blocks that I need. But because I get 110 in this, if I did 2 of these, I'm using less farm blocks, and I get an extra 30 places to mine, because if each of these is 48 in the middle and 110 places to do it, and this is 100 blocks in the middle and 180 around it. The real benefit here is the fact that I only have to do I have to do 2. I have to have enough power to be able to power 2 versus just the 1. But if you have enough biofuel going or biogas engines, it doesn't really matter. So this is an experiment with 2 3x4s and 1 5x5. Which will produce more? Will it be the 2 or the 1? So I wanted to do this experiment. Now what we're going to do is we're going to load them up, and I'm going to go for 15 minutes, okay? Or I want to go for, I think 20. I think 20 would be a good one. Let's just verify that our items are good. Let me just stick something in this hatch just to kind of verify it works. Oh, it doesn't have any power. That would probably be why. Oh, doesn't it have power? No, it's got power. It's just not doing anything. The hatch needs to kick stuff down. Because you can't put stuff in, but it can kick out. Anyway, I gotta get myself an ass load. Let's do these apple saplings. This is the one you want. You want this for damn sure. The way to get these apple oak saplings is to use a thing called the tree analyzer. This thing. Look up a oak. I'll just show you. This is the way you want to do it. Okay, so you have this thing, right? You stick an oak sapling here, and it pops out as an apple oak sapling. Killer part about apple oak saplings is they drop an ass load more apples. So get a tree analyzer thingy bob. Okay, let's break this so that way we're not wasting power to something that really doesn't matter right now. Focus all of our energy into our main. Let's see what we got here. So that one's got enough power. I have plenty of other biofuel engines. Just in case we need more power, I can kick more on. But I want to do this for about 20, maybe 30 minutes just to see what we get. Because generally as you're playing, you have a biofarm, like one of these farms just kind of kicking around, just producing biogas, right? Okay. So look at that, it's almost getting up there. Sick. All right, let's get this puppy kicked off. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start my fancy timer. Oh, come on, fancy timer. Okay, and all right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm hauling ass. Now remember, this is gonna have to replant or reacquire all of the saplings that we're giving it before, because obviously it's going to pull saplings from here to use to plant first. Oh, it's soaking power. There it goes. Now she's giving me some power back. Okay, so it looks like we're maxed out on power, which is okay. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, she's soaking a little bit. Not too bad, not too bad at all. So the big one is going to go through 180 saplings. So it's going to have quite a bit of a deficit just trying to get it, like, all the saplings out. Because really what you want this farm for is saplings. And you also want it for apples. Now, why apples? Apples, if you were to use a thing called a squeezer. Look at this thing right here. If you take apples and jam them through a squeezer, you're going to get out juice. Juice is what you can then use to either, use for yourself, but what you really want to do is instead of using water, you can use juice. So let's just let this thing kick off and let's see what happens. Ooh. Nice. That's a good angle. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So obviously, the machine on the right is at a slight disadvantage because it has to plant all the saplings for itself, whereas the left, you have both of those 3x4s planting at the same time and harvesting. Now, I really like the 3x4, 2 of them, for the instance that it's really only one less block, but you get double utility. And as you'll see in a moment, I think you're going to be surprised by the results. It's pretty darn cool. And all right, guys, that's that. We are now good to go. Let's go ahead and kill the power. I guess it really doesn't really matter. I mean, we got pretty much everything we're gonna get. All right, then we got a lot. So let's just do a little look. So this is the one that goes to the 2. This is the one that goes to the big one. Let's just look. So we got 13 places, or till here. This one to here. So as you say, a hell of a lot more items came out of that one than that one. And they started at the same time. They were running the same. This one couldn't start producing a lot of saplings quicker just because I think that's what's up. So if we sort it, we can see we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stacks worth of wood, 4 stacks of trees or apples, 4 stacks worth of saplings. This one, we only got 5, 3, and 1. So if my suggestion is 1, if you already have the power and you can facilitate 2 of the smaller farms, these ones, it's just the 3x4s, I would highly recommend that you do 2 3x4 farms instead of 1 5x5. Yes, space-wise, this takes up a lot more space, but let's be real, you're trying to make saplings here. You're not trying to make friends, okay? So this is great. That's much more effective. Look at that. And I'd probably put a 3rd or a 4th or whatever. Just keep adding these. This seems to be the most efficient, so a 3x4. So if that was helpful for you guys, I would love it if you could do me a solid. Press that like button. If you made it this far in the video, it really helps out and makes me feel like I actually, hey, contributed to the world because someone likes my vids. And if you're not a subscriber to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button too. We do all kinds of Feed the Beast, Skyrim, other stuff. And yeah, until next time, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.